Hey, this is Jim at Broadfield. Thanks for joining us for Broadfield Live every Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. It looks like the trade show season since NAB is coming to an end. We've been traveling all over the country supporting different regional trade shows, sports video group, religious product shows, and InfoComm show last week. One of the things I want to do on our webinar today is give you a peek behind the scenes and at our booth and show you some of the decisions that made into the setup to show the workflow all together. I think it'll be a valuable tool for all of our dealers because we know you're not selling individual products. You're selling workflow solutions. And we wanted to be able to communicate that as a value-added distributor, giving you and your integrators a chance to see all the products working together. There may have been products at InfoComm that have not been used in some of your previous workflow solutions that help solve one of those missing pieces of ingredients. And our opportunity to communicate that was well received at InfoComm. If you were there in Orlando, we hope you stopped by the stores. If you didn't make it a chance to come by the booth or you didn't make it to the InfoComm show, I will tell you that we are finding that show to become more and more important in the industry. Not just for all of the CTS training and the Avista education that happens at InfoComm, but as an opportunity to see some of the different products and how they fit into different workflows. NAB is a great show in our industry to focus on the production solutions and how to get that film production made. InfoComm is more of the widgets and boxes and converters, encoders, decoders, the individual products that sit behind the scenes, under the counter, inside a rack, the invisible solutions that help make everything work together. I know from the integrators that I talk to at the show, a lot of times you will build a workflow solution using the tools that have worked for you in the past and taking advantage of that experience and that knowledge. Going to a show like InfoComm gives you an opportunity to be introduced to new tools and solutions and to stay abreast of some of the new technology as it is introduced. Our InfoComm booth included over 18 different manufacturers with 50 or more products, all integrated, connected, and working together at the show floor. We had an Absent LED display wall showing off all of the different presentations and stuff that we had hanging on in the booth. And we had all of these different products integrated into workflows all working together. Our goal when we put together the InfoComm booth was to be able to talk to our integrators and the different verticals specifically that you're working in most often. These verticals include corporate AV productions, everything from a Zoom room to a Teams room to a supersized webcam. Education and house of worship. It's amazing how these different integrations and workflows share a lot of the same needs and responsibilities throughout their solutions. Education will add some of the CMS management, and we were able to show off some of those tools in our booth and in our partners' booth. Then on the other side of our booth, we went into some more advanced workflows with event and venue production, your traditional rental and staging markets, with workflows that are suited for everything up to a large sports venue or even a Broadway theater. We went into sports production that not only included your in-venue experience, but also your production out to your sports audience. And then, of course, broadcast AV. This is where the InfoComm world is colliding with the NAB show, and we're seeing more broadcast solutions using tools like PTZ cameras with outdoor windshield wipers, 1-inch image sensors, and every tool you need in every production environment. This is the workflow and the booth design that our sales engineer, Glenn Seaman, put together for the show. It apparently makes a lot of sense to Glenn, and I'm going to have video from our booth with Glenn walking you through all of the different products and workflows that you see here. As you can see, there is quite a lot going on, and it all works seamlessly together, partly responsible for the Netgear AV switches. We had a Netgear AV switch running on both sides of our booth, driving all of these different products, all of these different workflows, integrating NDI networks, Dante AV networks, PoE connectivity, all throughout the booth. And one of the nice things I learned about Orlando is that their unions are much more lenient than Las Vegas or New York. So we had the freedom and the capability to interconnect a lot of these products and change connections and add products as the show continued to go on. So first, I'm going to have Glenn introduce us to the one portion of our booth that covered the corporate AV, education, and house of worship workflows. You'll see in the video that Glenn put together all of the different products listed here. Everything from our brand new Liberty X workstation that was built for the TriCaster, Wirecast software, it matches the vMix Ruby spec, and more. ICANN PoE lights, camcorders and cameras from Canon, Panasonic, BirdDog, and PTZ Optics, LiveView and KillerView encoders. We had cellular encoders, we had NDI encoders and decoders, we had Dante AV encoders, we had Turtle AV Dante audio products, all integrated and working together. We even had BirdDog's brand new Maki Live camera and Maki Live Studio switcher, showing you how you can elevate a multi-camera production in any social media podcasting, corporate AV, house of worship environment. All of these different solutions playing in and out with many different levels of PTZ camera control, with one of my favorite PTZ controllers, the PTZ Optics SuperJoy. All of these were affordable solutions that really tied in well for that corporate AV, education, and house of worship space. Let's have Glenn give us a little tour of this side of the booth.
So main things we want to talk about is we're just doing a booth overview here. So one of the first things we're showing is the ICANN PoE lights. So these are all PoE++ powered. You have full control over the lights with a application that allows you to control intensity, color values, temperature. They can be set up as presets. We have the BirdDog PTZ controller here. So every single thing in this booth, first off, is wired, is connected either over NDI or to baseband to NDI converter, so everything can be talked to. So we can control any camera in the booth. With the BirdDog PTZ controller, you can see a single camera or any multiple cameras on it. We've got a Canon camera up here. That Canon camera is kind of being used in a contribution environment. What we're doing is we've got that connected to a KillerView E3. That E3 can be designed to be cellular bonded and put and distributed anywhere in the world. We're using it here over local Wi-Fi just to be able to send video onto the network. In this case, we're taking that video and bringing it into our Wirecast. This is our Liberty X system. Liberty X was custom built by us. Liberty basically gives you the freedom, hence the name Liberty, to run vMix, OBS, Wirecast, TriCaster MiniS software, all on a workstation BirdDog Cloud. This is really purpose-built machine for video production. Need some help? Cool, all right. We've got the Turtle. This is the Dante 2x2. This gives me 2 channels of in, 2 channels of out over the Dante network. So that's actually feeding audio into our Liberty. Again, we're running, in this case, Wirecast on this. One of the feeds is coming directly from the P3. I'm sorry, the E3. Once our production is all done, if we want to do live streaming, one of the things we can do is if we're remote, we've got our LiveView Solo here. So the Solo is taking an NDI feed, being converted into HDMI into the Solo. That can be live streamed. In fact, we're live streaming this particular show using its big brother, the LU300, but that's what we've got there. We've got an Epiphan Pearl Mini here. Pearl Mini is a desktop video switcher, so we've got multiple sources going into this, and we can switch that. We can create a show all from a desktop. And that's kind of what we're going to turn into recording, and we're going to talk a lot about the streaming encoders. So, did you stop? Okay, cool. Cool. So on the corner here, we've got the Panasonic UE30. Nice small form factor, a little conference room style camera. And then over here, we've got a couple different encoding form factors. We've got the KiloView E3. The E3 allows me to do both an SDI and an HDMI input. Those can either be set up as two independent streams, so I can take the HDMI and be streaming one thing to Facebook, the SDI be streaming something completely different to YouTube. Or I could actually go into a mode where I combine those two and I can do layers, I can do split screens, I can do graphics, so I can do all kinds of different types of compression with this. So the nice thing is this is great, again, for small house of worships that just wants to stream. Next to that, we've got the AJA Hilo Plus. Same concept here, HDMI in, SDI in. Those can work independently or they can be combined. One of the cool things we're showing here is this has a great API, and we're using an Elgato Stream Deck here, and I've got several different layouts made. I've got a split screen, I've got a picture-in-picture, I've got a full screen, and just by hitting one of the buttons on the Elgato, I'm able to quickly change what my output is doing. We've got now the Bird Dog Max. The Bird Dog Max is, again, a conference room style video camera, PTZ camera. The nice thing is the Max comes in a variety of colors, so you can really customize it to get it into your corporate environment. Right underneath that, we've got the AJA Key Pro. Again, looking at House of Worship Corporate, the nice thing about this is I've got 4 USB adapters on here, or USB slots. I can plug in 4 USB cameras or 4 USB cards, record up to 4 streams. Those all record live. I can then pop those out. I can either give them, if I'm a church and I want some of my parishioners to go with the sermon, I can give them that. If I want to take it over to my Adobe Edit system and edit, I can do that. It records MP4 format, H.264 or H.265. All these things, by the way, what we've got here is, these are now the new DVD-O. These are HDMI extenders. So this is basically this box here. It's got 1 input, 4 outputs, all network cables. These network cables are extending that HDMI signal to 4 different boxes, all outputting an HDMI signal to each one of those. They've got single units, they've got 4 units, they've got 8 units, so all depending on how you want to replicate it. This is great for the AV installs that just need to get the same video signal to multiple different locations. No power required for these. Power comes across the cable. So this is not PoE, this is POC, power over cable. Same concept, but it's not going into a network. It's just a point-to-point solution. Next to that, we've got our DVD-O again. This is the DVD-O seamless switcher. So this allows me to take, in this case, 4 inputs, and I can just toggle between those different inputs. And there's Adam, there we go. And one of the inputs we've got is the D350, the D350 from KiloView. In this case, what it's doing is it's taking 4 of our NDI streams and creating multi-viewer for it. So we're showing some flexibility there with that. We've got the N60 on top of this KiloView N60. We're just using that to decode one of our NDI cameras and bring it into this just as another source. Again, all these sources are feeding multiple devices here. We've got the PTZ Optics SuperJoy here. Again, just showing another control platform, able to control any one of the cameras on the booth. Jumping down here to another encoder. So this is the same concept as the first 2 I showed you, both the Epiphan, both the KiloView and the AJA HDMI inputs, SDI inputs. You can create multiple layers out of this. The thing that's a big hit with this one is the confidence view. So from a house of worship or a corporate environment, I can see video on this. I can see my audio levels. When I'm ready to hit go live, I just click a single button, my stream goes. So really big hit for that. The nice thing about the way our booth has been laid out is we've been able to walk our dealers through every single one of these and got to show them the different options. We've got PTZ Optics, and we've got cameras everywhere. I'm not even talking about the cameras. So we've got the PTZ Optics 4K Studio. Got the Bird Dog X4 up there, wirelessly sending video to the booth. We've hit those. We've got the little Move SE here from PTZ Optics. And one of the big hits, new products for us, has been the Turtle line. So we're talking about the Turtle Dante audio box over there. These are the Turtle Dante AV boxes. So what we're doing here is we've got an Atomos monitor feeding video into this Turtle encoder. That encoder over Ethernet is going over to the decoder over there, which is providing video for our LED wall. That's using Dante AV. This is a standalone Dante controller. So when you get into Dante, one of the things you're doing, especially in the video world, is you're constantly rerouting signals saying, hey, I want this source to go here. Dante, unlike NDI, Dante has a dedicated controller where everything talks to it. So this, instead of having to run a computer, I can run the Dante AV controller. I can control all of my Dante devices from here, and I can route my video signals. So this software GUI, this web GUI, is actually being run off of this. So really nice piece of hardware there. This is the first one we're seeing out live in public. It was hand delivered to us. So these are hitting our shelves very soon. Right in here, we've got the live view transceiver. What we're talking about here is the ability for houses of worship that maybe have multiple congregations, or corporate offices that have multiple facilities. I want to build a reliable, low latency, high bandwidth connection between the two of those. I've got 4 channels on this that I can then basically connect to units. So I would have one at my main headquarters. I would have another one at one of my remote offices. I send baseband video into those, SRT encoding, or actually it's live view, so it'll be LRT encoded video. It'll go ultra low latency, very high quality. This can be set up on an internal network. So we're talking really about interconnecting offices here, building video pathways for them. Lastly, on this side, actually, Logan, if you can grab me one of the audio embedders, de-embedders. Lastly, on this side, we're showing the brand new BirdDog Mach-E Lives. So these are the, just announced it and shown at NAB, these are the little Mach-E cameras. These are fully battery powered, so they can last about 4 hours doing 1080. I'm sorry, 6 hours doing 1080, 4 hours doing 4K. These wirelessly connect to either directly to an iPad, or in our case, they're all wirelessly connected to our main NDI network. But you've got this, you've got the BirdDog Mach-E Control, which is your controller. This unlocks the software that gives me the ability to do video switching on an iPad. Last 2 things we got on this side that are very popular. These are audio embedders and de-embedders. These are again from DVDO, brand new products to us. The beauty of these is the audio embedder. If I have a audio board, so I've got a mixing console, and I need to get that into one of my streaming products, I could actually take the audio out, and this will do optical or line in. I can take the audio out of my mixing board, feed it into this. It'll come out over the HDMI. So I'm now embedding audio into an HDMI stream. So I basically send in HDMI from my video mixer, audio from my audio mixer, and HDMI out comes out directly into the HDMI stream. I could feed that into any of the encoders I have up here. The de-embedder is the opposite. Maybe I need to take the audio out of a HDMI stream and bring it into my mixing console. It does the exact same opposite thing. It takes video in, passes that video back out, but strips the audio from it.
So as you can see from that side of the booth, Broadfield is your source for all of these products to fit into the corporate AV, education, house of worship workflows. If your customers are just simply looking for an upgraded webcam for a Zoom room or a Teams conferencing, the Mach-E Live, the PTZ Optics Studio 4K cameras are excellent choices. If they're looking for PTZ cameras in a conference room, the brand new BirdDog Max that you saw there is now available in colors. And for bulk orders, when you're working with a corporate customer that's looking to set up their full HQ, we can actually get BirdDog to create a custom batch where they can get the color to match the brand and create a signature look for all of their installations. We can work with PTZ Optics on both their HD and 4K with the Move SE and Move 4K cameras, and of course that Super Droid controller. And all the different products, everything from a Dante Audio, Dante AV workflows with the brand new Total AV product line, the conversion tools and the encoders and decoders from KiloView and AJA. We have the streaming products available from AJA. We have the encoders and production units from Epiphan and everything that you see there. Now we're going to move over to the broadcast side of our booth. And on this side, we're showing some of those higher end production solutions, not only for broadcast AV, for venues like the theaters and staging that we had talked about earlier, or sports production. There are really some unique tools available through the flagship part of these product lines, and these are all converging in technology. The similarity that you can see on this side of the booth is that these products are all also interconnected over a network with that Netgear Pro AV line of switches. Remember, Netgear is a perfect solution for all of these workflows, and they have the 4250 line available for your NDI Dante workflows, and the brand new 4350 line, which not only supports all of those workflows, but the broadcast standard for ST2110 as well. Let's fire up Glenn again and give you a tour of the opposite side of the Broadfield booth.
So here we are over on the broadcast, live events, and sports side of our booth. Starting off the top here, we've got the TriCaster Vision. So we've got the brand new TriCaster Vision here. Sitting next to that is the Tetra. We've also got in person, in real life, the new Audio Connect and the Flex Dual. So really, again, because everything's on NDI, the beautiful thing is this thing has more than 44 inputs. We're feeding all of the NDI to the TriCaster. The Tetra is actually taking a couple of our SDI feeds, and we're talking about how you could use that to encode and use NDI Bridge to send the video from, again, a remote location. So you can do a REMI workflow. So you deploy the Tetra where your cameras are. It'll use NDI Bridge to bring that video into your production facility. We're gonna swing the corner here. And we've got a LiveView LU800 here that we're doing. This is basically, again, another REMI workflow where I can send up to 4 cameras into this. Using cellular bonded transmission, it'll take those 4 cameras, and I can then send them to my studio where I would have my decoder and bring that back out as baseband HDSDI and do a live production in that environment. So again, 2 different kind of REMI workflows here. One using the LU800, the other one using the Tetra. Jump over here, we've got a good mix of cameras. We've got, again, on the broadcast side, we've kind of gone with the 4K side of the world. So we've got the PT Optics 4K move here. We've got the Canon CRN 700. Yep. And we've got the controller. So, the beautiful thing about this is a really nice high-end controller. Very good feel, very easy to control and manipulate this camera. Up above here, we've got another Canon handheld camera. This one is feeding our KiloView P3. So we have the P3 Mini on the other side of the booth. This is the P3. This is another cellular bonded video transmitter. This one can work with either 4G or 5G broadcast. This also has a larger screen to work with, again, just bringing that video into a cellular bonded world. As we said, everything is connected over NDI, over IP. We have our Netgear switch here. This is one of 2 that we have in our booth. This is powering the entire booth. Everything's connected to this. The other thing of note is earlier on I showed you that we had Dante. So the beauty of the Netgear switch is the one over there on the other side of the booth. We've got most of those ports are all set up for NDI. We've got 6 ports that are set up for Dante. That's the beauty of the Netgear switch. We kind of make our migration over here to our recording solutions, and we've got a combination of things. So underneath the Panasonic UE160 here, we've got the KiloView Cube R1. This is an NDI recorder, so it's going to record these local solid state drives. So this is for people that are doing an NDI workflow. Right underneath that, we've got the AJA Key Pro Ultra. This is your 12G SDI in or 4K HDMI in. This will record in higher level format. So this will record to Avid DNX or ProRes. So this is for post-production workflow. Speaking of post-production, both of these things have the ability to push to our Facilis system here. So we've got a Facilis hub here. This is, of course, running Fast Tracker. This is really where we can store all of our assets for a multi-editor production workflow. Again, in this case, both of these units have the ability to feed this. So when they're recording here, they can then offload the files to this so that they're available for editors to work with. And we're going to end this side with the Kairos. Again, going over cameras, I mentioned the UE160. We've got a BirdDog X5 up here. And then lastly, we've got the Panasonic outdoor camera here as well. So all these things, just like everything else, and I lost one of my inputs, are feeding into our Kairos. So we've got the Kairos core here, the Kairos compact panel, and then we've got a laptop here running the Kairos Creator, which is really where you build all of your layouts for your production. So that is kind of really our booth. Everything up and working, everything talking. Also, we've got a forgot about that wireless hotspot. Sorry, Adam. We have a wireless hotspot here. Again, we've got several wireless cameras, Netgear wireless access point, not a wireless hotspot, my bad, wireless access point that is feeding all of these cameras, or all the wireless cameras are going into that.
So you'll see that Broadfield has the broadcast solutions across all of those products from the other side of the booth there. Everything from the TriCaster Vision flagship live production system to the brand new Panasonic Kairos. Again, a full live production system with ST2110 support and capabilities. We have the Telestream Prism broadcast tools. We have the Facilis shared storage solutions, all of the different cameras, camcorders, production encoders, recorders, NDI recorders. Everything you need to create that full broadcast production workflow is available. You can contact your Broadfield sales rep, your Broadfield engineering team to learn more. From the live view, you'll see that we have the solo encoders on one side, and then the broadcast encoders with the LU300 and LU800 available on the other side of the booth, along with their rack-mountable solutions for different campuses, corporate AV, worship, or sports production. Anything you need is available from Broadfield. We are getting more and more of these products and brands to hit more of the line items you need for your quote and for your project. And I hope as you'll see in these booth videos, you're noticing that gorgeous Absent LED wall in the background. We set up a demo kit of the Absent KLCOB screens. It is a 1.2 dot pitch, which means that screen looked crystal clear from just 12 feet away. Which our booth at 20 by 20, it was the perfect solution. And the thing I liked most is it's also the LED display panels that we have in stock at Broadfield. If you're working with your customers to set up an LED display solution and you want to be able to hit them with that LED display very quickly, we can help minimize that turnaround time by taking advantage of the Absent solutions that we have in stock. You can reach out to your Broadfield sales team to learn more. We can update you on your project in our inventory statuses to make sure we get you set up quickly. Live View was also used as a streaming solution from the show floor. That video that you saw with Glenn and other videos that we posted throughout the week were all used with our LU300S encoder. Live View also hired JP, John Porterfield from Social 180, to broadcast with a Live View solution from their booth and other booths throughout the show. You can go to JP's website and YouTube channel to see those videos posted. He was posting from a Live View encoder, switching and mixing everything through Live View Studio application, allowing him to do a more produced stream right from the show floor and from our Broadfield dealer party Wednesday evening. You can check out all those videos on news.broadfield.com, on our Broadfield LinkedIn channel and YouTube pages. If you have any questions about any of the products that Glenn showed off at the show, if you want to take a new look at our Broadfield line card, give a call to your Broadfield sales rep at 800-634-5178. One of the comments that I heard a lot about at InfoComm is, hey, we're buying brand X from you. We want to add Y and Z. We can definitely help you with that. Our goal is to make sure we get the products you need for your total workflow solution, whether it's in corporate AV, education, house of worship, venues, sports production, or the broadcast environment. We can help get you everything you need across the board. Give your Broadfield sales rep a call, and if you have any questions or need any price sheets and materials, you can reach out to me directly at jim@broadfield.com. Tune in every Thursday at 1 p.m. for Broadfield Live, and thank you for joining us today.
Broadfield Distributing is a value-added distributor of live production, streaming, video editing, and storage products. We only sell to resellers. We are always looking for new dealers, so call us at 1-800-634-5178 or email sales@broadfield.com. You'll like doing business with Broadfield because we make it easy to do business.